Hi friend, welcome. I am Leigh Koechner and today is day 30 of ownership, 33 days to a happier life. We only have 3 more days. I hope you guys are owning your shit. Please join me. We'll do 3 grounding breaths. If you would uncross your legs and put your feet on the ground and put your hands face down or palms up. So I'm gonna breathe in more patience and I'm gonna breathe out reactivity. All right, so we'll go in through our nose and out through our mouth, in through our nose and out through our mouth, in through our nose and out through our mouth. Fantastic, thank you for that. Okay, I'm talking about surrender today. Surrender. And in the past, surrender might have meant giving in or throwing in the towel or something like that. Today's surrender means to me I'm wrapping around a cashmere blanket or an amazing cardigan that's all cashmere and super soft, because it is an energy that just holds us and supports us and lets us actually be free. So I have learned to surrender many times in my life, or I've used it and experienced the great benefits of it. Some were creating my children with surrogates. Also, I've used surrender in my idea of when I thought I had to have a TV show and I was so focused on wanting a TV show and wanting it that I was missing everything around me. And when I kind of laid that down, I was able to open up to kind of what God had planned for me rather than what I thought was right for me. But the one I'm going to share about today is how I met my husband. I was living in Hollywood and I was partying my ass off and I was going out all the time late and I was making out with guys in bars. Not dating him, just making out with them, and then really didn't want to see him again. So that's how I was rolling. And around 30 years old, I got super tired. All of me was worn out. And I thought, wait a second, if I one day want to get married and have kids, this behavior is not going to attract that lifestyle. They're not on the same wavelength or energy level. So I thought, okay, I'm no longer making out with people in bars. I'm going to go out with the people that ask me on dates, whether I want to or not. I did this for a while. I went on probably like 8 dates. Everyone that asked me out, whether I liked them or not, I said yes. And I practiced sitting at dinner with them and listening to what they were saying, and wanting to stab myself in the eye with a fork and wanting to count down the seconds, how much longer till I was no longer on this date. I literally was so worn out and so alone and so what I thought perceived as being alone back then. I dropped to my knees and I said, God, I need help. I've been doing it for a long time on my own and it's not going so well. I need some help. I'm ready to meet my man. I'm ready to open my heart and connect with someone, but I don't know what to do or how to do it. And then 2 weeks later, I went to Kansas City to see my parents. My brother and I went to Kansas City to see my parents for Christmas. We were on our way back for New Year's Eve, and we were sitting in the airport terminal, and I saw this guy walk in the terminal, and I liked his broad shoulders, and he was tall, and I liked his bald head, and he had a cool jacket and cool boots. I was like, that guy's darling. So then I'm sitting there reading my magazine, and my brother Patrick goes, Dave, oh my gosh, Dave. And he goes, Leigh, do you know Dave? And I turn around and I'm thinking Kansas State University or high school. So I turn around and I go, no, I don't know him. And I thought, how funny, it's the guy I think is cute. So then Pat and Dave start talking, and then Pat's like, why aren't you flying back to New York? So Dave was on Saturday Night Live. Pat was like, why aren't you flying back to New York? He said, I got let go from the show. Pat was like, oh my gosh, you're my favorite thing on that show. Are you kidding me? They had this big talk, and then Dave went and got his number and sat down somewhere. So my brother Patrick said, do you have any celebrities coming to your New Year's Eve party? I would always have some unusual person. And I said, no. He goes, go ask Dave. So I walk over to Dave. I sit down. I said, hey, Dave, Patrick said that I should invite you to my New Year's Eve party. And Dave said, and Patrick is and I said, he's my brother. And he goes, oh, I'll come to your party. All right. Pat and I got on the plane, and my brother saved him a seat because it's one where you got numbers. And then he goes, Koechner, back here. And then Dave came and sat with us. I lean over and I start talking to Dave, and I'm just looking in his eyes, talking to him. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's you. Now this was happening in my head, luckily, not coming out of my mouth. I was like, oh my God, it's you. you're finally here. I've missed you so much. And I was like, all of me knew that was my husband. And it was like the first time I felt at home on this planet when I was looking in his eyes. And I didn't have to wonder what I was going to say or what to do or how to act. I was just at home. And I was like, oh, you're here. But then I had to play it cool because I didn't want to come across as a completely crazy person. So I went back to my magazine. And then my brother says, David, are you attracted to my sister? Because Leigh, you've met your match. I've never seen her act this way. And he goes, buddy, I think you're going to be around for a long time. And I was like, oh, because I had asked God, when it is him, say this is him so I don't get drunk and chase him away. So then the beer cart came. I didn't get a beer. It passed. When we landed, Pat offered him a ride. I drove. So we drove Patrick home first. I took Dave into the hills. We passed a restaurant on the way, and he said, we're going to eat there one day. It's supposed to be really good. And I was like, I know we are. You're my husband. But I didn't say it. He dropped me off. I think he kissed my hand or my forehead. I can't remember. And the next night he came to my New Year's Eve party, and we have been together ever since. And here I am today, married with 5 kids, because I surrendered on that day I surrendered how I thought it should go, and I jumped in the flow of what God had planned for me. You know, so often you hear people saying, I want a baby, I want to have a baby, I want to have a baby. I'm trying to have a baby, I'm trying hard to have a baby, I'm trying to have a baby, I'm trying to get this job, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying so hard to do this. Remember, it's not supposed to be hard. When you're hard, something's out of line. You hear so often a woman adopts a baby, and then she gets pregnant because she has let go of that want. She has opened to a new way of being, and then her body is now open to receive a child into it, or not, or she had a plan. She had to not have a baby because somebody else birthed her baby and she adopted her baby. So it's so beautiful how we think things should go when we can surrender to that and be open to what is possible. It is freaking amazing. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means when you have worked as hard and done as much and tried and strived and given and pled and bargained and hoped and fell and dusted off and ran again, when you have done all that you can do, when there is nothing left for you to do, that is when you lay it down. Then hand it up to that is greater than you. Let go of the outcome of how you think things should be and think it should go, and allow the process of how God knows it should go. The moment of surrender is when you are tired and done trying so hard and you give up the fight against how you think it should be. Wanting something desperately is a repellent. The surrender is the attraction of grace and ease. Take your desire and ask God, what would you have me do? Then keep walking forward. But this time, walk forward in the joy knowing that God has your back. All you have to do is move forward, but be open to walking paths you didn't think you would have to walk. 4 of those children came out of somebody else's body because my uterus was removed right when I had. My dream was shattered having a big family, and I couldn't provide children for my husband, and we both came from families of 6, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I surrendered, said, now what, God? And all of that happened. Be open to having a new belief about life, not stringent. And when you are stuck in a belief and you think it has to be this way, you have to birth your own child, or it wasn't meant to be, and God had no place. If you can't have your own baby, you're not supposed to have one. Come on. You are. Move towards what you desire with no attachment of the outcome. My quote is, when I have worn myself out, tried hard, ran fast, kicked open doors, hoped, given, tried again, done all I could, I sit down. Sorry, I'm going to cry because it's so tender to my heart when we're so gentle and vulnerable and open. And that's when God can come in. When we're open, that's when God can come in. And when God comes in, and when you stand up and you're partnered with power and you walk forward, there's nothing more powerful. There's no way you could be more powerful on the planet. So, and it also reminds me of the time that I've sat down, and that became, because of this sit down, And in the quiet with my eyes closed, I go to God. My Lord, my God, I surrender. What would you have me do? Then I buckle up. You're going to have a time of your life, the ride of your life, if you partner with power, if you go with an open heart and you're vulnerable. God honors that. And that's a big entry point for God to come in and wrap his arms around your heart and say, hey, it's not supposed to go that way. Let's go over here. And then you move forward with a knowing that God's got your back, your path, your hand, your heart. Woo! God, thank you for detours. Thank you for having a plan so great our human brain can never maybe understand it. Let us move forward wholly. Let us move forward knowing we don't know the perfect outcome or the right way. Let us release that to you. And God, thank you for every single thing that has gotten me and everyone listening to this moment. We thank you for these lives and these paths that we have been blessed to walk. Let us honor our bodies and our paths and learn everything you're here to teach us. We're here to learn. Amen. Okay, you guys, we have 3 more days, 31, 32, 33. And then you should be owning your shit. And we should have open hearts and moving forward in a bold, strong way, because we're only here once, damn it. Let's do it! All right, that's it. Thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow at noon, California time.